Hello, you beautiful creatures. How the devil are you? I'm actually not in my room, which is amazing. I thought I'd be in there for the rest of my life. We are still in lockdown, but we needed time to get out. We are actually here to visit Molly Leigh. I'm here to drop off some flowers for her. Now, if you know that name, you've either been told the story or you've come through the Alton Towers dungeons recently. The story is about the Witch of Burslem. Yes, so we are in Burslem, and the story goes that Molly Leigh, she was born in 1685. She wasn't really born great looking, which shouldn't have anything to do with it, but we'll talk about that later. So she was born in 1685, and when she kind of grew up, she sold milk. She had her own cattle and she sold milk to passers-by. She was born on the outskirts of Burslem in the moors. I think that's a town now. And she sold milk. So the reverend, who was in the centre of Burslem, I believe, didn't actually like that because he was also selling milk. And he turned around and said that she was a witch. And this is great. He said that she made him appear drunk for weeks on end, that she would send out her raven was like her only friend. Her raven would come to the pub that he would frequent, and the raven would cast a spell on him and make him drunk. Hilarious. Now, this was in a time when outsiders, elderly women, people who didn't really fit in, they were tried for witchcraft, and everyone said that Molly Leigh was basically a witch. Now, she actually died in 1746. She died just before her trial, which is amazing. I mean, it's not, because she died and it's very sad, but she kind of got off easy, because if you know how witches were tried and punished, it wasn't really great. So when she died, the story goes that her spirit was so angry that she haunted the people of Burslem. And the people told the pastor, this is Thomas Spencer, Pastor Thomas Spencer, that he needed to do something to make sure she didn't come back and she didn't haunt them anymore. So they actually dug her up and they turned her grave around, and they found her raven, who was still alive. They put the poor thing in with her. He was still alive. So yes, they turned her grave around and they exorcised the grave, apparently. A couple of priests actually, well, I don't say actually because I think it's just a story, they died whilst they were exorcising her grave. And since then, touch wood, whatever, Molly hasn't haunted anyone. Well, apparently from what I was reading up, people do see her every now and again wandering around apologising for what she did, which she shouldn't, because she was a strong, independent woman. So we are actually at the grave where Molly is. I'm going to go and take you to see her, and we're going to leave her some flowers because I think she deserves it, because again, she's a strong, independent woman, and I think she should be the feminist icon of Staffordshire. But what do I know? I'm just a strange creature. So back in a second, guys, and we'll go and see Molly. Oh, so here we go. I've actually got a hand grip with me, which is really exciting. I'm using. It makes filming a lot better, actually. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Spooky Box Club mask. So here we go. We are on our way. Oh yeah, I forgot how, if I show you, so that's how the graves are meant to look. Okay, so they're all pointing one direction. I love this. I really do love it. Bear with me. And she is over here. This is Molly. Now, the thing that really upsets me is there's nothing really to say that that's her grave, apart from, as you can see, her grave is pointing one direction and everybody else's is pointing a different direction. Now, I think I recall somebody saying that if the grave is pointing a certain direction, the spirit can't find their way towards God. I think it is a religious thing. Don't quote me on that because I'm not really sure. This mask is taking over my face, but if people are here, I don't want to disrespect them by not wearing a mask. So I'm going to pop some flowers down by the side of Molly. There we go. I got amethyst because it's a sign of protection. Hang on a second. There are a few flower petals there. So hopefully I'm not the only one who's been leaving flowers for Molly. Won't stand on the ground for too long. So we did the story about, I'll take my mask off. We did the story about why she was considered a witch. Now, the thing is, she just ran her own milk business and she sold it for cheaper. And when she died, she actually put in her will about giving her money back to the church and giving money towards hopefully building a hospice for people. She gave her money towards relatives. Now, what was really interesting was she said in her will that she didn't want the men to deal with the money. So if she gave it to a female relative, she said it's for them. It's not for the men to deal with, it's for the women. So please don't let them meddle with it. And yeah, she put the rest of it into the church and into the hospice, which is a really sweet thing to do. Now, if that's what basically makes you a witch, then, you know, be nice to be a witch, I guess. But yeah, this is Molly's grave, and I mean it's a lovely graveyard. As far as I feel like I'm rating graveyards. I might do that as a series actually. I might just start going around and rating graveyards because I feel so at peace and so tranquil. I don't know why. But that's the story of Molly Leigh. Now, I did hear from somebody that someone was messing around and they got the bag caught or something and it strangled them and they died, but I don't know if that's just a rumour. I think it might just be a ghost story. But there is an urban legend related to Molly's grave, and I'm going to step back because I'm very funny about urban legends. It is said if you run around her grave chanting Molly Lee, Molly Lee, chase me round the apple tree, because there was an apple tree outside of her house, her cottage where she lived, she will come back and she will exact her revenge on you, which yeah, it's an urban legend, we don't know, but that's basically the story of Molly Leigh. And honestly, I think she was just a strong, independent woman who didn't need no man. Yeah, she probably didn't look great, and it kind of offends me that, you know, if you're born and you don't look great and you've got flaws. So I was looking behind my ear and I've got a massive mole. I also used to have a black cat called Jess, so I would have been burnt. How, just because you've got flaws? And Molly, worst case scenario, would have been burnt just because she wanted to start a business herself. She wanted to be independent and she didn't really conform to social standards. She had a pet raven, which is metal as anything, and I love that. But apart from that, she wasn't this horrible creature that people made her out to be. And I really think that Molly Leigh should be the feminist icon of Staffordshire. I'm going to put this on change.org. You watch this space. I'm going to make Molly a feminist icon. Bring out a t-shirt range with a witch's hat on. I'm getting very passionate about this, aren't I? I haven't really got anything else to say about this, but if you do happen to be around Burslem at any point, she's here, she's chilling, and I feel at peace. I really do feel at peace. I feel clarity and yeah, really chill. I feel like I've had a good time chilling with Molly Leigh. So yeah, if you want to come and visit her, show her some love. I'm sure everybody else in this in this cemetery get some love. So give our girl Molly some love, okay? And yes, that's about it. That's our spooky little venture for today. We are still in lockdown 2.0, unfortunately, so you know, there's not a lot we can do at the moment. However, once this is all over, I'm hoping to go back to Eyam, where we want to get married, and that is the Plague Village. And I will show you around there. We'll have a nice day in Eyam. We'll show you all the things you can do. I don't know if the museum will be open, just because, again, there are still restrictions involved. But thank you so much for joining me. I was actually quite anxious about doing this because I haven't been on my own in a while and my anxiety was playing havoc. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content or me going into spooky situations, which would be great, then like, subscribe, it really helps me out. I hope you've had a fantastic day. If you haven't, that's okay, because tomorrow's a new day. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.